Grease, ready?
Yeah.
Record now. Yeah, it's recording.
All rise. Docket number 437, the case of State of Hawaii versus Mr. Capone.
You may be seated.
Court is now in session.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is a case involving the tax evasion in violation of Section 7201 of the Internal Revenue Code against Mr. Alfonso Capone, also money laundering, and violation of 18th Amendment Wartime Resource Act. Are the attorneys ready to proceed in this matter?
Yes, sir.
Please state your name for the record.
I am George E.Q. Johnson, prosecuting attorney.
Thank you. Do you have co-counsel present?
Co-counsel George Sam Conson, Robert.
Thank you. Other members of council or the prosecution? Okay, and defense counsel, please state your name for the record.
Albert E. Fink, defense attorney for Mr. Alfonso Capone.
Thank you. Co-counsel?
Co-counsel attorney Michael J. Ahern for presenting Alfonso Capone.
Thank you. Are you ready to proceed with opening statements?
Yes, sir.
If so, may the prosecution present their opening statements to the jury, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. How you doing? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are here in defense of Alfonso Capone. Yes. Three counts we got so far on him, and it is like getting 712 for the RICO Act, possession of gambling records. Also the act of 18th Amendment Gambling Act, shipping from over Canada and state lines. Also, wire transactions, receiving stolen property. With these, with the with the Gambling Act, we have irrefutable evidence from Mr. Chester Bragg, who's also an undercover police officer for the Maui Police. As for the Gambling Act, we have former aviator Edward O'Hare, and as for the wire transaction with the union, we have Leslie Shelby as witnesses, giving irrefutable evidence. With that being said, I have no doubt that you can find our conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you. Defense, would you like to present your opening statements to the jury?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good afternoon. My name is Albert Fink, and it is my privilege today to represent Mr. Al Capone in this case. You have heard what the prosecution explains, what they hope to be proven, but under the law, my client is presumed innocent until proven guilty. And this must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. But this is a higher standard we use to make life's most important decisions. During this trial, you will hear testimonies from the prosecution stating what evidence they had to try and convict my client and create an image of a man of evil. The government has been conspiring against my client since the previous trial. He is a victim of vindication. You will come to know the truth that Alfonso Capone is not guilty of the charges being held against him. So we will kindly ask for you to keep an open mind and listen to all the evidence in order to return an appropriate verdict of not guilty.
Thank you. Prosecution, you may present your case in chief, and please call your first witness.
If you please the court, Your Honor, we would like to call Chester Bragg.
Okay.
Hey, that's me. Very good. Yeah.
you doing, Mr. Red?
Me? I'm okay. How you, man?
Okay, can you state for the court, for the jury, you know, what is your occupation?
My occupation? I work with these ministers groups and citizens groups and try to make the community a better place.
Okay, and how do you know Alphonse Capone?
How do I know?
How do you-
Everybody knows Al, man.
Okay, can you
There's
recollect-
nobody in the community that doesn't know Al Capone.
Can you recollect the first time you met him then?
The first time I met him, I think I saw him walking down the street one day.
Yeah, how long ago was that?
Oh, years ago. He wasn't as fat then.
Do you recall the evidence that you...
Did I say something funny?
No. Do you recall the evidence you could put to us about the illegal transporting of alcohol from importing over state lines?
I don't know what you're talking about. I know that he's involved in this business over in Cicero. He's involved in some other business. We tried to close him down. There was a raid, and you know, he always seems to be slippery and gets away. I don't know how he does that.
I guess it's well connected. But, okay, according to your testimony here, sir, let me read it back.
Hey, I don't got all day, man.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the delay.
Perhaps prosecution would like to
Yeah, can I have
present
some?
Okay.
Where's that?
Hey, Your Honor, you supposed to wear a hat and smoke a cigar in the court? Who gets to do that in a
Hold on,
court?
otherwise we'll have to hold you in contempt of court. Okay. Please keep your comments to yourself before we begin session very soon.
You're calling me out when he's smoking and wearing a hat? Hey,
Okay, sorry.
this is fixed from the start.
Hey, Mr. Brad, do you call in 1925 in West Suburban Minister Citizen Association? That's what we used to do. And you were working undercover on a raid on West 22nd Street in Cicero.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
Okay, what do you call on that day? What were you doing at that time? You working a job?
Well, we were raiding the joint, right? And so I was part of the group that was raiding the joint, trying to close it down because they have all sorts of gambling and who knows what else going on there. And so that's what we did.
So earlier you stated that you was a doorman at that time.
I'm sorry?
You was a doorman. So you was letting people in as a, I guess,
Well,
controlling the people.
At one point in the raid, I was at the door, if that's what you mean. I wasn't at the door the whole time.
Well, according to your previous statement, that's what it tells, that's what it's stated.
If you say so.
Okay. Anyway, besides that, what was there? What was purchased in that so-called vessel or establishment?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
What had in there? Did they have various things?
What did he do in his establishment over
What
there?
was transferring in it?
I never went to the place, but that night when we raided the place and I went upstairs, there were all sorts of gambling going on, and there was, I don't know, they call them chuckle-ups. I don't know what a chuckle-up is. And roulette wheels and pools and billiards and all sorts of stuff like that.
And I have no other questions.
Okay, thank you for now. Would defense like to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, you don't know what this chuckle up, or you can't say whether there was a chuckle outfit there?
Well, not exactly. I hear, I don't gamble, man. I try to stop that stuff from going on, but there's these things with the cages and dice and I don't know. It looks really weird to me, but that's what I heard people calling it, a chuckle. Okay?
Well, and how many raids have you taken part?
2. 2. Yeah. Yeah. And he got away both times.
Was there any attempt made to arrest the phone in the raid of 4818 West 22nd Street?
And some guy was writing up the warrant, and as soon as he started writing up the warrant, whoop, he disappears. You would think a man that fat wouldn't be able to disappear so fast.
Well, were others arrested?
Yeah, some of the people that work there, you know, running the tables and crap.
So you saw no warrant drawn for the man who said there was the owner of the place?
Say that again?
You saw no warrant drawn for the man who said he was the owner of the place?
I saw them writing up the warrant, but that's all I saw.
Well, why was the warrant not served?
I told you, he's slippery, he's disappeared.
Oh, you suspect there was a skullduggery?
Skullduggery? I don't know about skullduggery, but he owns half the county and state, man. I think he's paying off the judge, because the judge is letting him smoke in the courtroom right now, man. That's who this guy is, right? Probably paying you a fortune. Look at that expensive suit you have. Poor prosecutor looks like a schlub, and you're all dressed all fancy and shit.
Well, how do you have such a distinct recollection of the raid?
That night?
Yes.
You'd have a recollection too if your fucking nose was broken that night. Look at my nose, it's crooked. You see over here the bump? You see the bump over here?
Oh, you were beaten up.
Yeah.
Where was that?
Right outside the place when I left, bang, I got hit in the face.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor, would you like to redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call Mr. O'Hare.
Hold on. Would you like to redirect the witness, or are you satisfied with the
I'm satisfied,
witness's
sir.
testimony?
Just calling on.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bragg. You may be excused.
I can go?
You can go. Thank you.
Might have my nose broken this time.
I hope not. The sheriff will be happy to walk you to the door. You, Mr. Bragg.
Man.
Okay, Counselor, you may call your next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. I would like to call my next witness, Mr. O'Hare, Edward O'Hare, on the witness stand.
Okay, Mr. O'Hare.
Mr. O'Hare, can you state your first and last name?
O'Hare, Edward.
Edward. Ed O'Hare. Okay. Can you do you know Mr. Alphonse Capone?
Excuse me?
Do you know Mr. Alphonse Capone?
Yes, sir. He helped me having my mechanical rabbit used for greyhound racing. You know, dogs that run after the rabbit.
Okay. Can you pinpoint Mr. Capone?
That positive.
Let the record reflect that the subject has been identified by Mr. O'Hare.
Okay, Miss Ed O'Hare, would you describe to us what's your relationship with Mr. Capone?
Yes, sir. I was good friends with Mr. Capone until he threatened to kidnap my daughter and my family.
Do you recollect any events that conspired to having him react on such a violent act of kidnapping your family?
He started ordering me around to fix games for him. He threatened to kill me if I wouldn't disclose information to the feds. Something to do with my family, but throwing that out there.
Okay. members of the jury, you would see that Mr. O'Hare has described Mr. Capone trying to kidnap her family and threaten to like kill one of them. My next question would be like, why do you testify against Mr. Capone?
Well, I was a friend of his. I guess he threatened to kill me, and that's not cool.
How would you describe Mr. Capone as a friend?
He would regularly meet us in the Lexington Hotel and give us lavish gifts. That was pretty awesome.
Lavish gifts.
Lavish.
Okay. Lexington Hotel, do you have in your mind any recollection, VIPs or people who are in the guest list?
Yes, I do. Everyone there, including the whole police department, and ordered me to give invitations to other politicians to join the festivities of Lexington. So it was politicians and police officers. It was really fancy.
Okay, can you specify people names of people that were invited?
Frank DeLuccio, Robert St. John, Oscar Gutter, and Milton Head.
Robert St. John. Robert St. John is the owner of Chicago Tribune, right?
Yes, sir. Mr. Alphonse Capone ordered me to buy off the Chicago Tribune and send threatening letters to Mr. Shakespeare.
Buy off Chicago Tribune. Maybe he has accumulated a really large sums of money to buy off Chicago Tribune. Then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to present my first evidence.
Okay,
Exhibit.
may proceed. Exhibit A, admitted into evidence.
Yes, sir. We have this one, a ledger written down by Mr. Shumway, Ms. Shumway, and then type hand writing by Ms. Shumway too, regarding the copies of the ledger. And then, can you please also add up to my evidence Exhibit C, the ledger of politicians and VIPs in Lexington Hotel. And then, this one's for a transaction from Western Union indicating Mr. Alphonse Capone here laundering money. This is based on the information given to us by our undercover agent Michael Malone and a joint agreement between the Asian government and the United States government. And under which the Shipyard Act of 1920 regarding the joint concession between the U.S. government and the Canadian government. Okay, sir, I will present my next evidence after the third, the second.
Okay.
Second objection, Your Honor. How many pieces of evidence is he going to have to reject?
Yeah, let's keep, is this evidence relevant to the witness on the stand?
Okay, sir.
Please keep the evidence relevant to...
It is relevant, sir, because the ledger presents itself a copy of the list of people in the Lexington Hotel, which Mr. O'Hare has testified and written down, and with joint agreement and with the Canadian government, we have the list because of our undercover agent, Michael Malone.
Okay, I'll admit the evidence into the record.
Okay, I rest my case, sir.
Okay, before you rest, did you want does the defense need to cross-examine?
Yes. You will have okay. Okay, for the record of, what is your name again?
Edward O'Hare.
This is Edward O'Hare. Okay.
This is.
Okay. When you first met our client, what was the, let's see, the relationship like? Like when you first met him?
Like, everyone knows who he is. He gave me gifts. Who doesn't like a person who gives gifts?
So he gave you gifts. So when did the maniac, mad evil man come out?
He threatened to kill me.
Okay, we can go back. Okay, so you said when he first met you, he just automatically bought you gifts.
We were partners in a, what's my part?
Greyhound.
There.
Dog race.
Dog race.
Okay.
We were partners and business partners in that.
That's it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were
Okay.
business partners.
So dog race, and then all of a sudden he just comes out of nowhere and buys you gifts.
We were business partners. We got close. Gifts.
So what was the first thing he did or made you do that you felt as though you was uncomfortable with?
When he threatened to kidnap my daughter and kill me.
So he just out blankly just said, okay, I'm gonna kill your family. Just out blankly, like he didn't make you do anything prior. You didn't start feeling like, okay, maybe this guy is crazy, maybe I should go to the police.
Sure, barbecue.
I know. Can someone pass me the... One moment. I need a moment to think. I'm not feeling quite
got any
well.
stuff?
One moment. It's too bright. I apologize. Oh. He also threatened to kill my father.
I was trying to kill your father. But the question still remains, what was the first thing that he had you do? Like, why did he tell you that he was going to kill your father? What do you think?
Objection, Your Honor. The question is redundant and immaterial to the case.
Your Honor, this question.
Okay, go ahead, give me
Okay,
the reason.
this question is a very substantial evidence and part of the case involving my client as for he's being convicted of being an evil madman, which the government has been conspiring. I think her testimony will implicate that he is not who the prosecution says he is, for the record.
Okay, I was about to sustain it, but in this case, I'll let you rephrase the
Yeah,
question.
you gotta rephrase it.
And because I believe she's already been asked and answered
Yeah.
that. So if you rephrase the question, I'll give her one more opportunity. Otherwise, please proceed with another round of questioning.
Okay. So was you, okay, Miss O'Hare, was you aware of these, one second. Were you aware of the ledger that came out against my client? The Exhibits D for money laundering?
If you would like to approach the witness, you could refresh your recollection.
Okay. Yes.
Can you point out where on this ledger is my client's name? Defense first, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so
Redirection.
you have another witness to call prosecution?
Yes.
Counsel?
We actually want to redirect.
Okay, so we're going to have a redirect. Okay, Counselor, please proceed with redirect.
Mish and O'Hare, how would you describe, do you have a recollection definitely when Mr. Al Capone here tried to, who has, is it verbally or he orally telling you that he would kidnap or kill members of her family?
He orally told me that.
Okay, can we, sir, put on record that the statement of Ms. Ed O'Hare that he verbally already had?
Okay, let the record reflect that the witness has attested to the fact that she was orally threatened.
Okay, I rest my case, sir.
Okay, I'd like to rest. Thank you. Is defense ready to proceed with their case in chief?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may present your first witness.
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your Honor.
Excuse me.
We'll have one more witness.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before we proceed with the case in chief of the defense, the prosecution has another witness. You may call your third witness.
Please, the court, prosecution will call Leslie Showman to the stand, please.
Okay, please approach. Okay, dismissed. Thank you, Ms.
Oh, sorry.
O'Hare. You're excused. Thank you.
Hi, Leslie Showman. For the court, can you state your name and your occupation, please?
My name is Leslie Shumway.
And your occupation?
I was in gambling hall cashier, booking, and I kept his ledger
For who?
for Mr. Armstrong.
Okay. For who?
Mr. Armstrong.
Afcom. Okay. Now, how long have you been doing that?
For about 2 years.
Okay. So, you say you work for Mr. Afcom, Mr. Kenovich. How many? No.
I worked for Al Capone, Mr.
Who do
Kenovich,
you work
and
for?
Mr. Pope.
Mr. who?
Mr. Pope.
Pope. And also, are you familiar with the, like you say, you stated a ledger. Are you familiar with the ledger?
Yes.
Supposed to present it, which you already presented, right? The ledger. That's when I should show the ledger, right?
Yeah, the ledger was admitted as evidence. If you need to
Which is
show the witness, you may proceed.
So this is what you showed me, right? The ledger.
Yes.
You don't get something?
If you'd like to consult with co-counsel, you may.
I lost my case. Oh, here we go, I got it. Sorry about that, Your Honor. Okay. Okay, so this ledger, what is this ledger about?
It's about political contributions, a list of police people in our payoffs, expenses in a Lexington hotel, and list of gifts expenditures.
Okay. I have no other questions.
Okay, thank you, counsel. Is prosecution resting? Oh, this is a redirect. I'm sorry.
Redirect.
Yeah.
So defense, you may call your next, Ms. Shumway, you may be
Yes.
excused unless the defense needs to.
You can reference Ms. Tom.
renege.
You want to redirect?
No, no further comments. Okay, then defense may call their next witness. Thank you, Ms. Shumway. Defense may call their next witness.
Defense calls Mr. Oscar Gutter. Mr. Gooder, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Thank you. Mr. Gooder, where do you live?
I live at the Sherman Hotel.
Sherman Hotel. And what is your business there?
I'm a broker. I'm in the commission business. I handle sporting events.
During 1927, did you have any transactions with my client?
Yes, I did. I laid off pet sporting during the Chicago racing season.
The long bets that y'all been doing, did he lose sometimes?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time, he lost. Can you say approximately how much did he lose?
About $60,000.
$60,000. And with that much money being lost, were there any casualties following the loss of the money?
No.
All right, no further questions.
Thank you, Councilman. Prosecution, would like to recross?
Yes, sir.
Cross-examination?
Mr. Oscar, I would like to ask you, how many years have you been doing as a broker in sports and horse races? Just an estimate, not necessarily the license.
15 years.
15 to 20 years. Have you filed your taxes, or do you have a person legally producing your tax or your revenues?
Objection, Your Honor. What does this have to do with anything?
Is relevant, Your Honor, regarding the bets and the racing season he kept for 15 to 20 years. He said that in your statement you had almost $60,000 of.
I'll allow it, but I agree that the questioning is vague and ambiguous. Please.
Okay, Your Honor, I would like to rephrase that one, though. I would like to rephrase my question regarding tax his revenues. How much is one day stay in Sherman Hotel? Do you have an estimate, though, since you were living there for almost 15 to 20 years? Do you have an estimate of how much you pay for Sherman Hotel? You're staying in Sherman Hotel for at least 1 day.
No.
You don't have an estimate. Just an estimate?
Councilman, you already answered the question.
Okay, Your Honor. Do you know, sir, that testifying in court and lying under oath would mean you're a prisoner, right? So,
Objection, Your Honor. He's badgering the witness.
Yeah, I'll allow the objection. Please restate the questioning.
okay, Your Honor. How would you describe your partnership with Mr. Alvarez?
I just ran the numbers for it.
Would that mean that you fix horse race in that sense?
No, I just record total winnings or losses.
Total wins and losses. No further questions, I rest my
Thank
case.
you, Councilman. Any redirect from the defense?
Negative, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Gutter. Thank you. You may be excused. Dennis, do you have another witness to call?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to call up Mr. Milton Hill.
Okay, who's the witness now?
Get that.
So how are you doing tonight, sir?
How's my this one?
Good. So, have you had any transactions with my defendant, Alfonso Capone?
Yes, sir. I was taking oral bets at the Hawthorne in 1994 and 5. I would take a bet until the next day.
Did he win or you?
He lost. Judge, 12,000.
When you say you judge, does that mean the best of your recollection?
Judge.
Further questions, Your Honor?
Thank you, Counsel. Prosecution, recross?
Okay, Mr. Held, what did you say your first transaction was with Mr. Capone?
1924 at Hawthorne.
Okay, and then, can you name the first bet? How about the name of the horse?
Not really.
And you said, you did say, you stated earlier that you said he did lose. Did he lose all the time?
No.
So, and when you did bet, what kind of size of bets did you take? Or did you make?
The 300, 400.
Sure, $400, right? Okay. And then when, let's say he did win, did you have to do something? You know, did you pay him did he get paid on the spot, or was there a rendezvous point at a certain different place? You know, if he did win, did you get paid right up on the spot, or you have to work certain at another airport? Specified location.
We just pay the next day.
Next day. Okay. So okay, just to refresh your memory. So Alfonso Capone most of the time is lost. And so how much you lost most of the time? When you discussed this first testimony, where did you have to meet some? Did you go someplace to meet?
We met at the Lexington Hotel.
And you met
Monday night?
and you who was present?
Mr. Fink, Mr. Capone, Mr. Ahern, and a lot of the book members that we
Okay. So when you say a lot of book members, did you know any of them? You also said earlier in the statement that who called you? You say that one of the Budo boys. Do you know any of them Budo boys?
one of ours.
Also somebody that. What do you mean by house? What do you mean by that? You just one of the people that want to help with them?
They would call me and say, Al, we want this.
Besides that one, did they call you again?
That's my recollection.
So when you taking this bet, did you know the legality of it, or what did you know what's illegal, or you didn't think of anything of it? Did you know it was illegal? No.
No.
I have no other questions.
Thank you, Counsel. Any more questions of this witness?
I would like to
No? Okay. Mr. Melton Held, you may be excused. Thank you. Does the defense have any more witnesses to call?
Defense rush, Your Honor.
Defense rests? In that case, if defense rests, prosecution rests, prosecuting counsel, you may make closing arguments to the jury at this time. After closing arguments, we'll take a short recess for 10 minutes while the jury deliberates. Prosecuting counsel, anytime you're ready, you can make closing arguments to the jury.
Your Honor, members of the jury, I would like to clarify and state that what we have here today is a question of morality, a question of how we perceive ourselves, how we perceive our citizens supposed to be like, how we establish status quo, how we respect laws over here. We do not neglect laws, and based on the evidences presented, Mr. Alphonse Capone has been guilty of tax evasion. In your eyes, would you choose a citizen of this kind still wandering over our cities and squandering money and trying to break the laws of this land? I would like you to think for a while, and supposed to be, we have Mr. Alphonse Capone have in the witness stand, but the defense, they do not want to have him in the witness stand. That means that they are hiding something, or they are trying to cover up. So this, our society does not condone lies. Our society does not condone irregularities and cover-ups. I would like to put on hold that we tried our best to have justice prevail over on this court. And on your mindset, I want you to decide right now. If your children would have him as a role model, would you try that? Would you condone lying? Your Honor, I respect you.
Thank you, Counselor. Defense Counsel, you may address the jury with your closing argument.
So, members of the jury, it's terribly difficult to go through life without making mistakes. You agree? I've made mistakes. You've made mistakes. And if you haven't, you know someone who's made mistakes. Maybe a family member, friend, not, you know, celebrities, former presidents who've made mistakes. But the beautiful thing about humanity and the beautiful thing about this country and the beautiful thing about this great state of Hawaii is that we aren't made to suffer from these mistakes, even from what society makes of us. Public enemy number one. What does that mean to you? It means a whole lot to this man right here. Al Capone, yes, he's a man who enjoys gambling. He's paid the price through his many losses financially. And today, a man's liberty interest is at stake. You can't allow your feelings, your emotions, and things that you think about on a day-to-day basis make your decision. It's easy to make that logical conclusion. I'm confident, however, at the end of the day, that there's only one conclusion that we can make. Mr. Al Capone is not good. So, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Counselor. And now at this time, jurors, you may retire to the jury room to deliberate. But first, pick one of you as the leader of your group. And when you okay?
Unanimous.
You can decide who will be the leader. But when you've reached your verdict, please let the bailiff know, and bailiff will take charge of the jury. At this time, court is adjourned while the jury deliberates. Let's take a 10 minutes, okay? 10-minute break. Jury can deliberate for 10 minutes. At this time, you can smoke, drink, or drink water.
Mad Quran.
Okay. No.
Yeah. Oh.
All rise. The honorable judge member.
Thank you. You may be seated. Has the jury reached a verdict in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. The jury foreperson, you may hand your verdict to the bailiff. Okay, Mr. Alfonso Capone, please rise. As to the charge of IRS tax evasion, the jury finds you not guilty.
Oh.
As to the charge of the Mann Act, the jury finds you not guilty. As to the violation of the 18th Amendment, prohibition of alcohol, manufacture and sale, the jury finds you not guilty. And as to the final charge of money laundering, the jury finds you not guilty. So concludes the case.
Prosecution, y'all did.
Hey, we got the Samoan mafia up in here.
The jury would like to state their reasons for ruling the way they did and also provide some comments, some good comments about how the process went. Okay. So I'll let the jury
Start from that side, please.
discuss.
There could have been some specific questions that which wasn't asked. Right? Not enough evidence.
And I think also they're using the burden of proof, right, beyond a reasonable doubt. So it's very difficult in a criminal case, isn't it?
I think to be a prosecutor, I have some family members that are in the law, so I know how it goes. But like he said, specific questions.
Yes.
When you had Mr. Bragg, you never asked him what was being sold, what was inside, you know, so we didn't know if it was dolls or liquor or weapons or whatever. So we couldn't assume that well he's violating the 18th Amendment because he had liquor. Yeah, so you need to, when you ask questions, you need to ask specific, direct questions to get your point across. But what I liked was that you did have the correct witnesses there, the people who did have the information, just getting the information out of them.
I was trying to, at first, I mean, he wasn't going according to script, I think he's just
and that's how it happens sometimes.
Yeah,
you get the guy on
sure if I
stage,
could always hustle with this,
he's flipped on you, and you're just like,
And also, I think he was trying to play that he was inebriated or somehow.
Yeah.
So I wanted to try to get you to ask him, has he, where was he saying, or has he had anything?
What have you been doing the last couple of days?
Especially, but he's your witness, right? He's on your side, so you don't want to rip into him.
Yeah, I didn't want that. I was trying to, I was trying to get him, when he was being so,
I know, he was kind of making it difficult. He
Yeah.
He's trying to use it. Probably did his research.
He was trying real hard to get it. I just like, okay, whatever, I'm going right
Yeah. But
Okay, thank you.
And then as far as the defense, your lack of talking was your greatest defense. If the information wasn't put out there, you were smart enough not to bring up that topic. So that's what a lot of defense lawyers do. They're like, if it doesn't come up, we're not going to say anything, even though we know we have this amount of information that we can protect ourselves against if it does come up. If it doesn't come up, then you just shove that silly bullet to the side and wait until later. The one thing that I noticed that you shouldn't have done was the two witnesses that you brought up spoke against Mr. Capone as far as gambling. They said, why are you bringing witnesses up that are going against what you're trying to prove that he's a good guy?
But that's their job, though. Their bookies do. What else can you do?
Yeah, so he could have been like, it was a loan, family loan or whatever. But when you said, I placed bets for him, and you're like, no further questions, Your Honor, and you pass him on. Because now I know, this guy's placing bets. The key thing was that the witness never said Mr. Capone's name, he had said that Mr. Capone's boys called in, so it was his home placed the beds, or was his boys placing his beds in his name? It kind of makes a cloudy area there, but after he said, Mr. Capone, I placed beds for Mr. Capone, I would have just, okay, we'll
Right.
stop there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because you're gonna jump off that edge and now prosecution is gonna go, oh, we got him now. Go ahead.
I got overall a good performance from both sides. You know, I kind of wanted just to go with it and just go guilty, but I was looking at the evidence and I just couldn't find anything that linked Mr. Capone with the evidence. And you know, that right there, just you're looking at one that brings up one reasonable doubt, and then you look at the next one, just build up on each other. I mean, responsible thing to do is
Good.
I had fun with this whole thing.
No, thank you guys for coming.
There was a few times on both ends, the prosecution and defense, and I was like, objection, objection.
Oh, yeah.
Next time, that's what
There
we'll
was a
focus
lot
on,
of
objection.
leading questions.
Yeah.
There was a lot of leading that both sides
Both
could have
sides did, yeah.
objected.
A lot of
And then I was
speculation.
like, stop it. There was a lot of asked and answered already that you guys rephrased a lot, but it was still the same question. You guys really like interact with your witnesses. I know you like prep them, but at the same time you're working with them.
Yeah.
So you want to go easy with your witnesses.
Right.
Because that's your witness. Like with the defense, what he was saying, you know, once they say something that's not good, stop right there. And
That's
that's
why I
when
stopped.
prosecutors
That's why I
will
stopped.
go off
He's
of
not
that.
helping. I'm not doing
But all in all, you guys were really good.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
No, but as I'd like to thank you guys for coming in.
Me too.
I appreciate it.
I mean, I know it's tough. Short
Oh, this is the
preparation
first time,
time.
isn't it?
Yeah, the preparation time, I mean, that's what, I'll tell you now, that's what most lawyers spend all of their time doing.
Yeah,
They got the facts, preparing how
Yeah, and you,
to.
I think, so we
Yeah.
balancing,
Yeah.
balancing and everything, job and everything.
Yeah, this was really out of the
I was nervous.
curriculum.
I was nervous. He was nervous. Who?
Crossing his feet, ears were dancing.
I thought, you know, it came across really natural, and I think especially the way you held your own with Mr. Bragg there. But yeah, it was really well done, and I like the opening statement, the closing statement. There's some memorable parts of this.
You gotta think so, you know.
Every person did extremely well in what they did, and I know it's difficult, and it does take time to.
I was straight up like your
The real life situation turns to
I think if you had more time, it would have
Yeah, considering that we had our own lessons to do, great. So hopefully next quarter, you know, we'll see how we can do one again.
Yeah.
But I know that the next time we do
I'll
one,
help on next time, you know.
yeah, we'll definitely improve on
I'll help
what we
you.
learned.
I'd like to see a jury next time, Mr. Lam.
This next time.
Yeah, that I want to do that. I'll be sure.
You know, your guidance and,
Why?
you know,
Only be one.
nudging you, just, you know, where to go, how to do it.
No,
you know.
sir.
Yeah,
Ding, ding, ding.